everyone. Welcome inside another edition. It is the Adam Jones podcast presented by the Baltimore Banner. I'm Jerry Coleman over there. He's the former five-time All-Star. He is Adam Jones. And today, AJ, in episode number 95, we'll be joined by the former World Series champion twice, the flying Hawaiian himself, Shane Victorino. Adam and I will also recap the World Series he just attended, as you can see by his lid, and talk about some of the honors coming the Orioles' way, plus a chance to win a $50 gift card from Lido Pizza during Socially Speaking. But as always, we bring in our featured guest. He's brought to us by our friends at Jimmy's Famous Seafood. It is Shane Victorino. Shane, welcome to the podcast. Appreciate you taking your time. You know as well as anyone what it's like to win a World Series. And for the Dodgers, after capturing the latest, they were supposed to still be playing. Instead, they're partying right now. And there's nothing like a World Series parade.
Never is. I am, looking forward to seeing what LA looks like. I know in 2020 they got their World Series title without an, World Series parade. So, Adam, I'm sure you and I can only imagine what that place is going to look like today.
Oh, when you're talking about only imagine, you're a two-time champ, and I was going to ask about that. Obviously, winning in both places are different, and you got to win on the East Coast, where they're a different, passionate fan and historical fans. Season tickets have been passed down from grandfather to father to kid. How historic is winning those for those two franchises, the Phillies, who dates back forever, and the Red Sox, same thing?
Well, for me, I think the one in Philly, stands out just a little different because I always tell people in that city there aren't many championships. And, fortunate enough for me, I'm one of those guys that can say that I was able to bring a championship to that city. Nothing against Boston and that city and their fan base.
Right,
but
of course.
Again, every year in a major sport, along the way, 7 titles in Patriot Nation, the NBA, the hockey teams, and everything else. And of course, baseball. But, for me, anytime, I tell anybody, anytime I can win and say that I'm a champion, in Major League Baseball, there's a small group of us. There's definitely a small fraternity of us that have those rings. So, for me, it was an honor. It humbles me every time someone asks me about being a World Series champion because, I know a lot of us go out there every day. A lot of us get to, hopefully dream of only doing that, but yet having the opportunity to actually be there playing 3 of them, win 2 and lose 1. But, again, being that athlete that was fortunate enough to play in 1 was, I feel very honored and humbled, obviously.
You say I'm being fortunate to be a two-time champ. When you go to events of galas and different things like that, obviously you got to flaunt your jewelry. You got to. You put both on each pinky. Like how do you wear your rings?
Honest to God, Adam, I have not worn one of my rings since I've won it. I've left it in the safe. And not in a bad way. I'm not one of those guys.
Right.
I've never been a jewelry person. And I always said to people, if I have to wear my rings, then obviously I didn't do enough on a baseball field for you to know that I did something and I'm a World Series champion. People ask all the time. Obviously, people ask, can I see them? Can I see them? Can I touch them? And I said to myself, honestly, I've left them in the safe where they belong. I'm honored and humbled to have those in my safe. But, maybe there will be a day, a special moment. Maybe the Phillies get back. Maybe Boston goes again and I can bring them out. But to then, those things just sit in the safe. As I said, it is humbling to know that I have 2 of them. But I'm not a big jewelry guy and I'm not a big flashy guy. Unfortunately.
Me either.
Some people would. Hey, trust me, I see my teammates wearing them every single second they can. So I'm not saying that's not a bad thing because, again, it is an honor. I mean, there aren't many people walking on this earth that have a World Series championship ring. So, in that regard, I don't mind when I see my teammates wearing them because I'm sure, again, it's humbling and it's an honor for them to wear it.
Yeah, me either. I'm one of those people that don't wear jewelry. I have
Right.
no World Series or championship rings, even from Little League. But I do want to go back to Game 4. Some Yanks buffoon tried to take the ball out of Mookie Betts' glove. A grown-ass man, Shane, looking like a 12-year-old fool, but like he was defending his territory. I want to know how you would have reacted because we know you've had some encounters with fans before. There was that infamous thing that occurred at Wrigley Field where a fan threw a beer on you.
Beer on my head, yes.
You reciprocated with the law.
Well, the thing about that one is, unfortunately, Major League Baseball made me press charges. And in regards to that, and the reason why they did that is because they didn't want fans to continue to think that that was okay to do something like that. So obviously when the moment happened, that beer hit my head, I literally wanted to grab that ball and fire it into the stands and figure out who it was. But at that moment, I looked back and everybody was pointing at each other and no one was taking credit, for who had done it. And in fact, probably a lot of you may not know, but they actually took the wrong guy out of the stadium that evening. And the next morning, the guy had to the young kid who actually threw the beer on me after going back and, looking over the footage and the camera, he had to turn himself the next morning into the law to law enforcement. And it was funny because he was actually the son of a very, very powerful, influential Chicago lawyer. So it was the funniest thing. Yes. And, and for me at the time when it happened, I was like, you know what, man, I caught the ball, the game, we went on, nothing happened, everything in the dust settled. But Major League Baseball came in after the game and was like, hey, man, I said, guys, I don't want to press charges. Like, this is just a kid making a mistake. I get it. It was bases loaded. Everybody gets caught up in the moment. And they're like, no, Shane, we have to do X. And which is, obviously we want you to press charges. And then we're going to make this people, turn themselves in. And actually, I think we got the wrong guy. So we have to have these press charges because we have to go get the right guy. And there was this whole thing. So fast forwarding to what had happened there. I told my wife, I honestly would have jumped and slapped the dude upside the head or whatever, or done something. My wife goes,
Both of you
talk.
My
wife goes, you all talk. You don't do nothing. I said, you probably white because I was too short. I couldn't get up over that wall to whack the dude. But, I think for me personally, that was an absolute utter. I don't care how much of you love your team. I don't care how much you want to win. To literally grab a grown man's hand and try to steal a ball from him in that kind of situation, for me, it's pity. I know Gronkowski came out and defended his college roommate and said that that's just was him and that he's always been that way. But to me, I want to say to Gronk, imagine being in the middle of a game, your buddy, even if you know is your friend, literally grabs you in the middle of the game and try to cause you lose a game. Tell me what you're doing. You're not just standing there,
right.
And so I know he wanted to defend his college roommate and kind of make it a little more, downplay the situation. But for me, I just thought that was an absolute shame. I hope Major League Baseball, helps these guys and holds them accountable for that. Again, grabbing the glove and all that stuff, but two guys literally holding him there and trying to grab his wrist and grab the ball. I give credit to Mookie, and I know Mookie said in the interview after that was the second time in his life that he's ever wanted to fight somebody. So obviously he was upset and he gathered his emotions, but to me, that was just a coward move. But, hey, fans are fans and fans will always be fans. And, I guess sometimes you say it is what it is.
Yeah, that's so unfortunate. It's annoying most of. I want to take it to a positive side. Game one, obviously me and you sitting there in the suite talking back and forth, watching it. And Freddie, who you've been in this moment, you've hit grand slams in big moments in the World Series and in the DS against CC. What is that moment like? Because you did it, you got to do both of them at home, not the road. You got to do them at home, and obviously everybody knows you. You're fiery. So, what is those emotions rounding the bases like?
Man, I tell people I feel like I blacked out. Honestly, the moment's not even there. When it happens, it's like, I always tell people it's, sit in a room and think about 40,000 people just shoving you with energy, all at once. And, that's basically that moment. The stadium goes silent, as it's happening. And, I always tell people like, for me in my situations, the bases were loaded, the stadium is on their feet, the people and the energy are there. And then as the moment's happening, it all becomes this, like, it's quiet. And then the
drive in the left field, that is well hit. Ryan Braun looks up. Grand slam home.
Well, how am I supposed to feel around the bases other than feel like I'm floating on cloud nine because the moment has happened? Freddie was a little different. It was a walk-off, so he got to go. And, for me, I did it in moments where I always told my teammates too, not the fact that, it was that we took the lead or we got the lead. It was like, okay, hold on now. We got to all take a deep breath. We got to step back because we still got to go out and play defense. We still got a game going on. So I think that's the part for me was the hardest thing, to look at everybody in the dugout and go, you're on top of the world. The energies, the roof is blown off this place. And you go out there on the field and you're like, man, I got to regather myself because now the emotions are back to where I literally have to finish this game. So, those moments, as I said, when it happens, Adam, you really don't understand. It's hard to explain to people, what it feels like. It literally feels like, I said, I felt like I was floating every single time. The emotions, the pounding of my chest. It is no greater feeling in the world. And, humbly saying it, I am so honored that I've been able to be in those moments. But I always tell people I had great teammates that surrounded me, that helped me to be in that moment, that gave me the opportunity to be the moment. You know, I explain to people, if you were on another, Adam, if you're on another team, guys, who are you going to face? You're going to face Jimmy Rollins, you're going to face Chase Utley, or you're going to face Ryan Howard in Philly. No, I know who you're going to face. You're going to face that little Hawaiian. Just like in Boston, you got, you had Jacoby Ellsbury, you had Dustin Pedroia, you had David Ortiz. Who are you going to face? You're going to face the little Hawaiian, because you're okay to say to yourself, like, hey, we lost to Victorino. He hit and I'm fine with that. But again, little did they know that was the biggest dog in the fight was this guy that, I was not going to back down. So I always attest to the fact that I had great teams. I had good teammates that allowed me to be in those moments, man.
Hey, we were talking nicknames last week. Who gave you the Flying Hawaiian moniker?
So it was a catch in New York City. I think it was in 2006. It was early in my career. I made a diving catch in left center, and the Mets announcer said it on TV. The Flying Hawaiian makes an unbelievable catch. And from that day on, that literally stuck. So, stuck with me forever. So it is weird how you get nicknames. It was definitely not a nickname that I had growing up as a kid. It was definitely something that I got in the big leagues.
It was, obviously one of the sickest nicknames.
I definitely love it for sure. It is a pretty cool one.
More to come on the Adam Jones Podcast after these messages. The Adam Jones Podcast is brought to you by our friends at the Weinman Company. Everyone knows Greenmount Station in Hampstead, but did you know that at Greenmount Station you can bet 7 days a week just like you're at the track? With in-person teller windows and state-of-the-art touchscreen kiosks. And with Greenmount Station's brand new Bet Park Sportsbook, you can bet on all other sports as well, wherever you are in Maryland. Spreads, money lines, live bets, props, parlays, and teasers. The Bet Parks Maryland mobile app is now live for Apple and Android devices, so you'll never miss your next big score. Just search for Bet Parks MD in the Apple App Store or on Google Play. And for a limited time, 21 and over Adam Jones podcast listeners can get a $75 gift card to Greenmount Station simply for opening a new account with promo code GMS and a minimum $50 initial deposit. $75 gift card for new users in Maryland only. 21 and over only. Please play responsibly. For help, call 1-800-GAMBLER. The Adam Jones podcast is brought to you by Jimmy's Famous Seafood, Charm City's favorite crab cake destination. Local sports fan, experience the ultimate pregame party at the tailgate. Cheer on the Ravens with iconic live performances, an open bar, and mouth-watering eats. Can't make it? No worries. Bring the same food that caught the attention of the Food Network right to your doorstep. Shipping East Coast recipes nationwide. Jimmy's Famous Seafood is the official sponsor of the guests appearing on the Adam Jones Podcast.
Take me out to the ball game.
Take me out with the crowd.
Buy me some peanuts and Cracker Jacks.
I don't care if I never get back.
Marylanders are adding a seventh-inning stretch to their day with fast play home run riches from the Maryland Lottery. You could win a progressive jackpot instantly and enter to win cash for Orioles home runs.
It's my new ball game.
Hey, it's savings season at Lido Pizza. 99-cent refreshing iced teas all summer, or $6 calzones every Tuesday. There are tons of new deals and rewards for everyone. Proud partner of the Baltimore Orioles, Baltimore Ravens, and the Adam Jones Podcast. Lido Pizza, a local legend since 1955. Exclusively at LidoPizza.com or on the Lido Pizza app.
Hey, were you aware that Anthony Volpe had tied a playoff record that you set in Game 4? He belted a grand slam and stole multiple bases. You were the only other person to do that in playoff history back in 2008 in the NLDS.
Somebody did send me that. It was one of my coaches that I coach here, with my Flying Hawaiians, my little 14U team. He did send me that statistic and said, hey, this is a pretty cool one. Again, some of these statistics you don't even realize that you're a part of, so to see them pop up and, to see that flash, I mean, it's definitely humbling to be able to hit a grand slam and steal bases at the same time, I guess.
I want to talk about free agency. Obviously, Juan Soto is going to headline free agency. Corbin Burns, I think, is the best pitcher available. The Phillies, an organization that is, especially in the last 5 years, are buying. Do you think they have any skin in the game when it comes to these starters? Or, obviously an ever-growing team, a team that had a lot of expectations. They fell short like a lot of teams. There's only one that stands at the end. Do you think that they're going to be in on some big, high-level free agents?
I would not put it past them. I know for me, my free, and knowing the owner and John Middleton, it would not shock me that they will go after, some top arms, top top players. I don't know if to the degree of a Juan Soto. I am not going to answer for them, but as you said, that owner wants his effing trophy back, and he said it publicly. So, I think that they definitely will be in the mix. If I know anything that I know about John, he will definitely have his hand in the pot on these free agency because he wants that championship back there in Philadelphia. So I think it's going to be an interesting one. I mean, I'm sure every team and that can handle a $500 to $700 million player, I'm sure are going to be in the mix. I mean, it is crazy, Adam, when we say those numbers, and I hope they will, because I definitely want a championship back in that city. Unfortunately, that will push me back to the back burner, but that's okay. There are many championships in that city. So, if they win another
That's
one,
okay.
I'm totally cool with that. Exactly.
I did want to ask you about the history between you two. There was a time where Adam was on the verge of being traded to the Phillies back in 2018. He vetoed that trade. Did he consult with you about Philly and life in Philly before he decided to say no?
I can't remember if you text me. I know once off season, a couple off season, you have texted me in the past about playing in a city like that, or playing in Philadelphia. And I did tell you that it's one of those cities that you got to win. If you don't win, they'll hate you forever. And lucky enough for me, I was definitely that athlete that was able to win in that city, and be loved forever. But yes, it is not a city for the weary. I tell people, Philly's one of those places where their love and their passion, and even Boston, the love and their passion for sports is like no other. I mean, it's something that, until you get the opportunity to be an athlete in that city, it's really, really hard to explain and understand, to any athlete who tries to embrace on playing in that city.
Yeah, I remember us talking about it. It was briefly, but you were like, "No, come up to Philly, man. You can play in Philly." I'm like, they asked me to move to right and platoon, two things I didn't do, and I don't think going into a playoff race doing that is going to help my stock going to free agency. And I just looked at it. We were talking because I was in the Hamptons that evening, and I was just like, I don't know if this is a bad deal. I'm just saying a good deal for me. And then I show up the next day at Yankee Stadium, and I feel like Fresh Prince. I feel like Will Smith at the end of the season, because we traded 7 guys away in 24 hours, and I'm just sitting there like, I don't know who the hell any of these guys are. But what's crazy is one of the guys, Evan Phillips. He was one of the guys that came from the Braves, and O'Day and Galsman, and he's gone off and has been able to have some success. So I was around for a couple of his innings. So it's just like baseball. You stay around long enough, things happen. But at that time, I just didn't think it was a good trade for me. And maybe I got bad. I got treated bad afterwards because I said no. And generally, guys like myself don't get 10-5 veto action. And I told him no.
Nothing wrong with that, man. Hey, listen, hey, you did perfectly fine, pal. Let's be honest.
Yeah. But sometimes I'm like, damn, should I have just went and should I have, I love red. That is my favorite color. Should I went, should I have went? Like,
I never second guess it. Honestly, I always tell people,
I didn't.
like even me when I look back on, after I got released by the Cubs in 16, the Indians were chasing me, and they were one of those teams actually in free agency, in 13 that wanted me to go there. I chose Boston instead. And even as far as 2016, they wanted me and they were calling me, and I sat there at home, when I got released by the Cubs, and I said, man, there's no way I want to go to, they wanted me to go to they wanted me to go to the minor leagues for a week, just get some at bats, and they were going to call me up. And I was like, nah, Cleveland, they're not very good. And guess who was in the World Series in the end? So my wife looks at me and goes, see, you chose the Cubs in spring training, didn't work. But the team that really wanted you in the end is now playing the World Series. Suck on it. You're sitting here on the couch. And I was like, damn. So sometimes things do happen and decisions that you make don't work out. But, as I said, we are definitely lucky to have played the game as long as we have and had as much love and enjoying doing it.
I got to ask you my final question. One of my all-time favorite shows is, of course, Hawaii Five-0. Not just the newer version, but the old version that goes back to the 70s, Jack Lord and company. I'm jealous. I mean, you got a cameo on. What was that like to be on that program that you probably grew up watching?
Man, that is probably the worst and the most nervous I've ever been. Why I was nervous, I don't know. It was because I had to be an actor, and it's something that I was not accustomed to doing, remembering lines. I literally spent 6 hours to 8 hours in one of the most beautiful places in Hawaii, in the Ko'olau Mountains, where they did all that filming for 30 seconds of clipping. So I said to myself, I definitely don't want to be an aspiring actor to have to spend, hours upon hours and basically days for a 30-second, little cameo. And I was like, man, these dudes do a lot of work for short segments in a film. But, I was nervous. I remember looking at, we were riding in, and I said to Daniel Day Kim, I go, Daniel, I am so nervous right now. He goes, what are you nervous about? He goes, Shane, you play in front of 40,000. You play in Boston, I said, listen, guy, I got to remember lines. I got to try to act. I got to be something that I've never really done other than going out and playing, baseball and doing that for love and living. He goes, take a deep breath. He goes, I'm actually way more nervous for you because, and not in a bad way, he goes, I feel your nerves because it's like me, like if I walked out on a baseball field, like I would be so nervous that I don't know if I'd be able to perform. He goes, this is how you're feeling. He goes, just take a deep breath. You'll be fine. Everybody will make you feel comfortable. And literally about 5 minutes into the whole segment of doing my recording, I was like, oh, this is not as bad as. But again, we literally spent 8 hours in the mountains for 30 seconds of fame.
I wanted to ask you, how awesome is Cap? And can we get a Cap golf trip down to Hawaii?
Shit, don't tell me second on that. I'd be the first to host. I mean, I'd be honored to have everybody back home in my native land for this Cap program. Adam, as you and I get to benefit from this wonderful program, that the commissioner has allowed us to be a part of, with Jimmy and Ryan leading it, my former teammates. I absolutely love it. I think it's great. We all get to spend time together in these suites and in these meetings, talk about the game that we love, talk about how we can try to make the game better and do different things. So for me, it's something, that I'm humbled to be a part of again, all these sort of things around the game of baseball. And again, to see where the game's going, to see, some of the things that we got to sit and know that is coming, in the future around the game. I think it's so exciting, and again, I hope I never get kicked out of the program. I hope you and I continue to, be a part of this journey and, making this game better and doing things. And again, helping the commissioner and our group try to make this game the best game in the world.
Hey, Shane, we really appreciate you taking the time.
Thanks, boys. I apologize for being a little late, but
well, you got a golf course you got to be at soon enough. So thanks for being here.
I actually do. I actually have a member today, so I'm actually got to get out the door soon to go and get ready for this mentally, more importantly than physically.
Oh man, let's go. Get after it, brother. I appreciate
you,
your
boys.
time. Thank you.
Always, brother. Yes, love and appreciate it, and thank you for having me as always, brother. Love you.
All right, there he is, Shane Victorino.
More to come on the Adam Jones podcast after these messages. Effective Solutions, your one-stop shop for commercial contracting. Everything from excavation and site development to emergency remediation and restoration. Effective Solutions specializes in many forms of commercial and mixed-use construction. With a dedicated staff and a commitment to quality, Effective Solutions delivers every time. There are a lot of ways to make whiskey, but there's only one way to make Jack Daniels. At Jack Daniels, they charcoal mellow every drop, only using water from Cave Spring Hollow in Tennessee. When you make your own label, you make everything else yours too. But we don't need to tell you that, do we? Make it count. Jack Daniels. Please drink responsibly. Tennessee whiskey, 40% alcohol by volume. Jack Daniel Distillery, Lynchburg, Tennessee. Jack Daniels and Old No. 7 are registered trademarks 2022. Jack Daniels, all rights reserved. The Adam Jones podcast welcomes Relief Shop. Shop, Maryland's largest adult use and medical cannabis menu, located at 1114 Cathedral Street in Baltimore, with medical delivery available throughout Maryland 7 days a week, only at Relief Shop.
Your fun awaits at Hollywood Casino Perryville. Feed the whole crew with something for everyone, from cheesesteaks to crab cake sandwiches. Plus, ask how you can get a $15 dining credit. Get in on the gaming action with the hottest slots and your favorite table games like blackjack, roulette, and poker. Free live shows every Friday and Saturday. Come experience non-stop fun and excitement only at Hollywood Casino Perryville.
Hey Baltimore, Monument City Brewing has been crafting the best beer in Maryland since 2014. Located at 1 North Haven Street in Baltimore, you've seen us at the ballpark. Now drop by our tasting room. Open Thursday through Sunday with events, music, and great food trucks. And this year we are honored to collaborate with Adam Jones and the Adam Jones Podcast with Simply AJ Ballpark IPA, available throughout the baseball season. It's going to be a great year, Baltimore. Visit us online at monumentcitybrewing.com or follow us on Instagram at Monument City Brewing. crewing. Keeping Baltimore safe is an incredibly important job, and protecting those who keep us safe is equally important. The Baltimore Police Department leads the nation in supporting its officers with innovative wellness programs, free fitness classes, counseling services, citywide discounts, and more. Right now, the BPD is hiring. Join now and receive a $10,000 signing bonus upon swearing in. Build a meaningful career in public safety with the BPD and get the support you need to serve Baltimore effectively. Apply now at bpdrecruit.org. It's the perfect time to check out a spacious and reliable new Toyota SUV, like a RAV4. With available all-wheel drive and plenty of cargo space, you'll go from errands to adventures in no time. Plus, available features like wireless charging will keep you connected. Or check out a Highlander with seating for up to 8. It's a hub for family adventure. Your Toyota dealer is getting new vehicles in stock regularly, so don't wait. Find deals on a RAV4 or Highlander at buyatoyota.com. Toyota, let's go places. And now back to the Adam Jones Podcast.
Let's move along to our For the Birds portion of the podcast, as always sponsored by our friends over at the Maryland Lottery. AJ, hey, when you play the Maryland Lottery, set limits, never play when you're stressed, and know your odds of winning. To learn more, visit mdlottery.com/play responsibly. And of course, you must be 18 years or older to play. Let's have a Gold Glove discussion. By the way, Shane Victorino, our guest, he won 4. They will be. Yeah, you've won a few too. We'll talk about that, but they'll be given out on Sunday night, and it's not a BBWAA award. The Gold Glove finalists for the Orioles are Colton Cowser in left field, although he did play center and right too, but it's for left field, and Ryan Mountcastle over at first base. What do you think of the respective chances? Cowser is joined by Cleveland's Stephen Kwan and New York's Alex Verdugo. Mountcastle is competing with the Rangers' Nathaniel Lowe and the Twins' Carlos Santana.
Yeah. Well, first off, I mean, if you're dealing with an incumbent, that's kind of tough. You know, you can get political, even in politics. It's kind of tough to deal with the incumbent. At first base, I think Nate Lowe is the incumbent first baseman in Texas, and I'm not sure who won last year in left field, but I know Quan has won 1 or 2. So the voter obviously is going to be, eyeing him as, somebody that won it. So you definitely get the more benefit of the doubt. But what I love is that, first off, Cowser entering Gold Glove talk in his rookie season. As you said, he's played center field, he's played right field, but his majority of his innings have been in left. And it's just, it's an attribute to him going out there and learning left. And playing left is not easy, especially majority of the year Austin Hayes was playing out there. So, yeah, so he had to learn how to play this left field. And I wonder, and I want to talk to him off air, is how much did he reach out to Hayes and how to play this new left field? How much did he go out there early and learn how to play this new left field? And, in defense, I always said the defense is an attitude. Sometimes, again, it's an attitude and skill. You have to have the athleticism. Sometimes there's people that try really hard, like Trumbo was saying. He tried really hard, but sometimes the results weren't there all the time. But Cowser has obviously insane athleticism, and for him to go out there and play that way, it's, it was tremendous. Mountcastle, obviously he's learned. Coming up as a shortstop, we moved him to left field, and you move him to third, and you move him over here, and you move him there. He's over there using CD's glove. It says Chip Davis. So he's over there, and he's been insane. I think he saved so many guys' errors, and that's the mark of a good infielder also. A good first baseman saves his guys' errors. There's always going to be tough throws, and good first baseman saves his guys' errors, and he's done that tremendously. And he's improved over there just with his range, with his knowledge, where to be. And, again, I watch a lot of games, so I understand what is going on and the positioning that they're doing and his throwing ability. Like, I pay attention to what's going on, and they both have really improved. My thing is, where's Sid at? Where's Sid at? Where's my guy? I mean, for years, we're trying to get the Gold Glove. I've won a few. There's always a passing the torch and wanting a different outfielder to get it. You hate when there's always since this year. Since then, you want since last year. You know what I mean? And just dang, I want the center field position to win it. But hey, he keeps fighting, and he's going. I think that's going to light a fire under his ass and get him going back out there again next year.
Mullins had some unbelievable catches this year, no doubt about that.
Insane things that I couldn't do. Like, he's out there doing. I couldn't fly like him. No. I couldn't. He was faster. He had more. I came in like this, like more like boom. He had more of that. He landed. I fell.
Yeah, he went vertical. He went horizontal. He did what he had to do. Mountcastle's defense has improved immensely. I remember when he came on. That was a big question mark about him. But the process, I mentioned that the writers aren't involved here. It's the managers, each major league manager and up to 6 coaches per team vote on the awards, and they can't vote for players on their own team. You won this 4 times. It's quite an honor when the other coaches and the other managers respecting your work.
That's the biggest thing in this game is respect. Number one thing, everybody wants to make as much money. Make as much money. That's great. Respect. And you get other coaches that come up to you early, and like when you're going, to the cage or doing that, and they're like, hey, trying to nitpick your brain and this, like, that's the utmost respect. And especially when I wasn't the fastest center fielder. I wasn't the now I'm just saying I wasn't the fastest center fielder. The rest of it, I was one of the smartest, and I had a cannon. So it was things that I understood, and I was a shortstop. So coming from center field to coming from shortstop, what it taught me is don't ever worry about your hands. I never ever worried about my hands. It's like at shortstop, you got to worry about your means catching the ball is coming. You got to catch it and get rid of it quick. In the outfield, I got this big ass glove, and I got all the time in the world to throw the ball. At shortstop, I got to catch it, and it has to be caught and thrown within under a second. I'm sorry. Out in the outfield, they say get it, rough time, get it back to us within, if it's a base hit, okay, 2.5 seconds. If you're trying to throw somebody out, you got to be in the 1.15 to 1.6 range, something like that. And okay, cool. I have a little bit more time to throw. Never have to worry about my hands. I now just worry about positioning, deeper angles, deeper cuts. Once I realized that, it was like, okay, I can play this position, but the other guys are seeing me play it. And what did I do? I reached out to Mike Cameron. I reached out to Griffey. And a great guy who taught me how to play center field was Gary Pettis. He's a Gold Glover. We know Gary Pettis. But I remember as soon as I was told to switch positions in Seattle, a guy, Carl Hamilton, who was the video guy, he sent me all the videos, and this is, back in the day, DVDs of Griffey and Cameron playing center field and how they played and just like the setup and videos of just them. Obviously you get the old school screens where they broke it in, you see the picture and you just see them. When I'm just on the bus in AA watching it, just watching film over and over and over of these two fantastic Gold Glove center fielders. And I got to learn by visual, and then I got to go out there with Gary Pettis, a great center fielder, Gary Thurman, who played center field in the bigs with the Royals and the Mariners. And then I get to the big leagues, fortunate enough to get T-Bone Shelby. Like, what? So my journey, especially with the outfield, has been amazing. And then when you get to the big leagues and you make a name for yourself, what? Now, you know what I mean? So it just opens up so many doors, but it's hard work, and the other coaches see it, and the other coaches know you were a shortstop. Now, how do you? Let's see what you're going to do, and it's all mindset. And I wanted to be a Gold Glover.
Well, you and Nick Markakis were the last outfielders from the Orioles to win Gold Gloves, both of you in 2014. The only other Oriole besides you two was Paul Blair. So Colton Cowser on the verge of joining some tremendous company, and we wish them all the best of luck.
8.
Yeah. All right.
Trust me, I know. I think I could have had 6, but then I think I could have had 6. But there's 2 years that there was like 10 and 11 where Gutierrez and Ellsbury had nasty years themselves. You know what I mean? So no disrespect, they had some disgusting years. And then Kiermaier and Buxton came, and I was like, yeah, I'm the old guy. Bye.
Yeah. Well, you got your 4.
I got mine.
Exactly. All right, let's head beyond Baltimore, where you are, our national and sometimes international perspective, all brought to you by our friends over at Relief Medical Marijuana Dispensary, where they go above and beyond to help you, the patient. So the 124th edition of the World Series is over. You, of course, were in Los Angeles first, then New York. While in Japan, by the way, they had almost 16 million people watching the Fall Classic at one point, AJ. You said coming in, this was going to be a big-time global World Series, but that was more viewers than the U.S. at one point.
Insane. That is insane. And I was talking to some of the people that know the numbers, and what was going on in L.A. that night, just in L.A., you had the World Series, obviously. You had USC Rutgers. That's going to take game. That's going to take viewership.
This is game
You had
one.
the Lakers. Yeah, this is game one. You had the Lakers Suns. That's going to take viewership. You had Modern Day versus De La Salle in high school. You had Pink Floyd concert at Intuit. Like, it was so much traffic and things going on. And just talking to the people who know the numbers, though, and I was like, how in the hell in 1978 were the numbers so incredible? And they just said simply, there was nothing else to watch. There's nothing else to watch. You know what I mean? There's people that are just battered fans, and they call themselves fans. I don't think you're a fan if you're not watching. My team's out of it. So what? So what? Support the sport. My team lost. So what? Support the sport. Come on. I'm a baseball fan. I've been I'm a diehard baseball fan. I'm a diehard, whatever fan. Your team lost. Okay, we'll just be a diehard fan for the sport. Grow the sport. No, I'm gonna watch Netflix and chill. We know what that means. So, there's so many more things to watch, and it takes up the household. But in Japan, the game was on at 8:00 in the morning, and on Saturday. So, and game 2 was on 8:00 on Sunday morning. So it's perfect timing over there. That's what I really loved about in Japan, is that you get to watch, like, Monday Night Football, watch Friday morning. Or Monday Night Football was Tuesday morning. Thursday night I watched Friday morning. So it was perfect. And
right. Who needs Saturday morning cartoons?
No, you don't need that anymore. You know what I mean? Wake up and watch some sports. Okay. I used to wake up and watch sports on Saturday. Wake up at 9:00 and watch, if you get up early enough, you can get your cartoons. But at 9:00 in California, it's college football. Watch some sports. These kids get up on YouTube. First thing they want to get on. But there's so much to watch out there, and we have so many options. We have thousands of shows. People love to binge shows, and like, oh, well, my team's not in it. I'm just going to watch this show, and so I think it still made record numbers, but it's still not going to touch what happened in the 70s and 80s, just because there's too much to watch. But hey, Ohtani, Yamamoto, you see the global impact of what them moving to LA is, and obviously congrats on winning the World Series. That's just going to bring more money to LA. That was the best signing in the history of the sport.
The Dodgers win in 5, gentlemen's sweep, if you want to call it that. Man,
That's what it's called.
Yankees need a refresher course on how to run the bases and catch balls, because that cost them dearly. And I think they were dead last in fielding during the regular season, but it was a comedy of errors there in the finale.
Well, the one thing the Yankees always have, they've always been a fundamentally sound team, generally. They've always been a powerhouse. Like, they've hit their way to being where they at. And that's part of it. When you play a team like the Dodgers, who, especially in the series, they are so athletic, but they're athletic and they put the ball in play. So it's like a combination of the old Royals with a lot of juice. You know what I mean? They can't be there. They're just there. The Dodgers are themselves. Like, they have so much speed, power, athleticism, intellect, and their players have. Multiple players play multiple positions. Versatility. Kike Hernandez started in center, moves to second, can go to short, can go to third, can do whatever you want. Put down the best bunt. We're not going to talk about it. And I told him that after game 1. At batting practice game 2, I said, bro, the bunt that you put down with Rizzo down your throat is the best play of the World Series to me, because no one in baseball can do that. And I'm going around asking, name 5 people in baseball that can do that exact bunt right there in that situation. And not many people can do that, because baseball didn't teach you that no more. And Kike, he knows how to play the game. Chris Taylor probably can do the same thing. And probably all 5 are on the Dodgers, just because they have the athleticism and guys that can just some versatility to play other positions. The Yankees don't have as much. Their shortstop is their shortstop. Jazz, I believe, is their most athletic position player, but he has to play third because he can't go and be the athlete that he needs. And at third base, the athlete is locked a little bit. But everybody else is a positional player. With the Dodgers, Mookie started at short. Freddie's played third before. Like, everybody, you got Will Smith, the catcher, who can move the first. This versatility that they have is insane. And over a series where teams that don't strike out that much put the ball in play, when they put the ball in play so much, it's going to force your hand. And it's hard to be really good defensively all the time when it's constantly balls being hit at you, being hit hard, guys on base motion. There's going to be a mistake. That's just it's the law of average. And when you got good teams like the Dodgers and the Yankees, when you make mistakes, they generally make you pay. And generally with 2-3 run home runs or 2-3 run base and clearing doubles and things like that.
A few other quick takeaways from the Fall Classic. I thought Freddie Freeman was an easy MVP choice. Quiet series, though, for the two regular season MVPs, and Ohtani, who seemed to be hurt during the series, and Aaron Judge, who finally came on late, but it was too late.
I mean, you got Freddie as a former MVP himself and showed up on the biggest moment. And if you look at it, we talked about it, in our suite. Weaver pitching only 19 pitches in game one. Like, if you had a chance to win game one, why not get game one again? We're in a suite in Ivory Tower. As you get closer and closer to the field, it goes like this and then goes like this. It speeds up. We're baseball savants in a way. We got a PhD in that, but we're still just up there guessing like everybody else because, on the field, we're like, why not do this? Why not? Oh, it worked. It did this. It just didn't work.
Ohtani and Judge are the MVPs in the regular season, but they didn't really overshine too much during the Fall Classic until Judge finally hit a home run late. We know Ohtani was a little banged up.
Right. And you know what? It's part of it. You had the juggernauts. Obviously, they are taking up all the media attention. It's Judge versus Ohtani. It is, East versus West, Timberlands versus the Cortezes, Tupac versus Biggie. It's a lot of different contexts you can take. And you know what? You had a guy who's a former MVP in Freddie Freeman who showed out. You know what I mean? On the biggest stage. You gave him an opportunity to show out. And he did. Obviously, Ohtani hurt his shoulder. Obviously, that's going to really mitigate a lot of swings, a lot of power. But again, he's still insane a threat. And his athleticism allows him to still get on base. And when he gets on base, he's an insane threat. Judge, obviously, from our perspective, sitting again in the Ivory Tower, he was obviously trying to hit a 5-run home run. And, it's Judge. It's him on the biggest stage. It's where we want to see him. It's where he should be. He carried his team up to this point. And he wanted it. Who doesn't want it? He wanted it. And it just didn't happen. And it's unfortunate because you want the greats to be great on the greatest stage. It just didn't happen for him this time. Now, will the Yankees be back there? They got taste of this. You think Judge is not going to that office and is going to sit with the GMs in this offseason? If Soto walks or goes somewhere else, you don't think he's going to be in there? No. We need to get him. No. We still need to know. So I think he got the taste of blood. And he loved it, but he don't like this. He got hit instead of hitting. So I think he's going to want to put his team right back in that situation. And just crazy for my guys back here, that's dangerous because the Yankees spend.
They do.
Insanely.
Well, you mentioned Biggie and Tupac, so I got to add this because the biggest known contest of the World Series was Ice Cube in Game 2 versus someone named Fat Joe in Game 3. What the hell?
Someone named Fat Joe.
I had to research the guy. He's big in
Come on.
Ice Cube is
someone named Fat Joe. Man, don't you talk about my boy like that.
Where was Jay-Z, man? Who the hell is
That's my dude right now. Fat Joe is a legend. Are you kidding me?
And he's no Ice Cube.
You crazy. He's a legend. Well, Ice Cube started a lot earlier. Obviously, Ice Cube is Ice Cube. Like,
how electric was that, AJ?
No,
because
hold on a second. You're not gonna disrespect my guy, Fat Joe. That's my dude, though. He's a absolute legend. Okay, like a legend. Ice Cube coming out in LA, iconic.
I had chills down my spine even in Baltimore.
Iconic. And he changed some of the lyrics to talk about the Yankees, which was crazy. He's one of the best performers of our generation. He's one of the best actors of our generation. He's one of the best producers. Like Ice Cube has put himself into a lot of different things. I've
Free basketball.
I've had a lot of conversations with him on that and investing in business opportunities with him. So I've gotten to see the business side. I've gotten to see the actor side, the young. Like I grew up on Ice Cube. You know what I mean? So, and I grew up on Fat Joe. But obviously, being more West Coast, I'm more biased to the West Coast. But Joe, that's my dude too. I've known him for probably 15 years, and always came through. One of the nicest guys. One of the best shoe games you're ever going to see, but one of the genuinely nice guys at the game. And so is Cube. It was electric in Dodger Stadium. It was electric in Yankee Stadium. And that's, we want to get, as a baseball, we want to get on that entertainment level. Basketball has it, football has it. Baseball, we don't have it as much because we are rugged every single day sport. You know what I mean? Like for the Super Bowl, it's easy to get, you can pick, or we can say 8 months out, we're getting this person for the Super Bowl. For a World Series, for a series, all these series, it's real hard to find a celebrity, to find these for every single thing. So, when you're able to get these two massive cities, it works. Just imagine if, again, last year you had Diamondbacks and the Rangers. Do you remember who the hell sung the national anthem in any of those? Nobody. You don't. So
anyone that sang.
Exactly. So the All-Star game, we can get whoever we want, minus the lady who sung at the Home Run Derby. Oh my Lord!
My ears are still.
But we're trying to enter that entertainment era also, and with the phones, with all the technology, this is what we need as a sport.
I'm pretty damn jaded, but I texted you right away. I was just. Out of my mind watching that happen live. I couldn't believe that was going down. I replayed it during the first inning about 3 times instead of watching the game. I don't get too excited about much, but Ice Cube was off the freaking hook.
And they got the best sound system in the league. Second to Oakland.
Really? I don't believe
Oakland's that sound system, insane.
Well, it's going away now, so
they will be stripped. It will be stripped.
All right, let's hit Socially Speaking. This is where we answer a post on X or anywhere on social media. You earn a chance to win a $50 gift card from our friends at Lido Pizza, proud partner of the Orioles and the official pizza of the Adam Jones podcast. And you can find us all over social media to earn a chance to win that Lido gift card at Adam Jones Pod, at Adam Jones Pod. And we posted a poll asking who's been your favorite guest during season 3 as we wind things down. We've had over 40 different guests, so it's really hard to nail one down. The voting went like this. Now, Jackson, our social media guy, put up these candidates. Nick Marquez,
I'm looking at it.
Mike Elias, and Colton Cowser, or someone else. Now, Marquez got 54% of the vote. A lot of people wanted to hear from him. Let's face it, Nick doesn't talk too much unless it's on the Adam Jones podcast. Mike Elias was second at 24%. Colton Cowser got 17%. I just want to know, what about Gunnar Henderson or Jackson Holliday or Coach Harbaugh or Buck or Governor Wes Moore? They were among my favorites.
I think everybody was. There's everybody has their own uniqueness. Some people tell stories differently. Some people have more energy than others. Some people give more information. Some people show their personality. That's what I'm saying. Like, that's what I love about Nick is you never hear Nick talk. If you hear Nick talk, that means that you're talking to Nick. Like, and it's really hard to get that. And, I know that he loves this game. I know that he, appreciates this game. And, sometimes you just got to draw it out of him. And I'm slowly trying to draw it out of him. JJ is very similar. Yep. He wants no part of this, but he still loves the game. Like, so, to talk to him about baseball, he still loves the day-to-day. He might not tweet about it while it's going on, but he still loves the day-to-day. Obviously, Cowser comes with full energy. These young dudes, they come with a lot of energy. You get to talk to the GMs. You get to just the reach, really. That's all. That's always mine. So I would go with the other. Being able to talk to the reach.
I just reeled off a few names, but I'm with you. Every guest has had their own unique perspective.
Pierce, I love Pierce.
He was awesome.
He was great. Like, he's thorough about it. I love talking to Bob Kendrick. He's the best storyteller. out there. Ben McDonald is fantastic. Palmer, you just let him. There you go, Palmer. Hey, Palmer, foot.
10 minutes. John Paul Morosi was great. We could go on and on and on.
Morosi was great. Yeah.
Yep. All right. As always, we do want to thank our sponsors. They're loyal. They're dedicated. Go out and support them.
The Adam Jones Podcast is brought to you by our friends at the Weinman Company. Everyone knows Greenmount Station in Hampstead, but did you know that at Greenmount Station you can bet 7 days a week just like you're at the track? With in-person teller windows and state-of-the-art touchscreen kiosks. And with Greenmount Station's brand new Bet Park Sportsbook, you can bet on all other sports as well, wherever you are in Maryland. Spreads, money lines, live bets, props, parlays, and teasers. The Bet Parks Maryland mobile app is now live for Apple and Android devices, so you'll never miss your next big score. Just search for BetParks MD in the Apple App Store or on Google Play. And for a limited time, 21 and over Adam Jones podcast listeners can get a $75 gift card to Greenmount Station simply for opening a new account with promo code GMS and a minimum $50 initial deposit. $75 gift card for new users in Maryland only. 21 and over only. Please play responsibly. For help, call 1-800-GAMBLER. The Adam Jones podcast is brought to you by Jimmy's Famous Seafood, Charm City's favorite crab cake destination. Local sports fan? Experience the ultimate pregame party at the tailgate. Cheer on the Ravens with iconic live performances, an open bar, and mouth-watering eats. Can't make it? No worries. Bring the same food that caught the attention of the Food Network right to your doorstep. Shipping East Coast recipes nationwide. Jimmy's Famous Seafood is the official sponsor of the guests appearing on the Adam Jones podcast.
Take me out to the ball game.
Take me out with the crowd.
Buy me some peanuts and Cracker Jacks.
I don't care if I never get back.
Marylanders are adding a seventh-inning stretch to their day with fast play home run riches from the Maryland Lottery. You could win a progressive jackpot instantly and enter to win cash for Orioles home runs.
It's my new ball game.
Hey, it's savings season at Lido Pizza. 99-cent refreshing iced teas all summer, or $6 calzones every Tuesday. There are tons of new deals and rewards for everyone. Proud partner of the Baltimore Orioles, Baltimore Ravens, and the Adam Jones Podcast. Lido Pizza, a local legend since 1955. Exclusively at LidoPizza.com or on the Lido Pizza app. Effective Solutions, your one-stop shop for commercial contracting. Everything from excavation and site development to emergency remediation and restoration. Effective Solutions specializes in many forms of commercial and mixed-use construction. With a dedicated staff and a commitment to quality, Effective Solutions delivers every time. There are a lot of ways to make whiskey, but there's only one way to make Jack Daniels. At Jack Daniels, they charcoal mellow every drop, only using water from Cave Spring Hollow in Tennessee. When you make your own label, you make everything else yours too. But we don't need to tell you that, do we? Make it count. Jack Daniels. Please drink responsibly. Tennessee whiskey, 40% alcohol by volume. Jack Daniel Distillery, Lynchburg, Tennessee. Jack Daniels and Old No. 7 are registered trademarks 2022. Jack Daniels, all rights reserved. The Adam Jones Podcast welcomes Relief Shop. Shop Maryland's largest adult use and medical cannabis menu, located at 1114 Cathedral Street in Baltimore, with medical delivery available throughout Maryland 7 days a week, only at Relief Shop.
Your fun awaits at Hollywood Casino Perryville. Feed the whole crew with something for everyone, from cheesesteaks to crab cake sandwiches. Plus, ask how you can get a $15 dining credit. Get in on the gaming action with the hottest slots and your favorite table games like blackjack, roulette, and poker. Free live shows every Friday and Saturday. Come experience non-stop fun and excitement only at Hollywood Casino Perryville.
Hey Baltimore, Monument City Brewing has been crafting the best beer in Maryland since 2014. Located at 1 North Haven Street in Baltimore, you've seen us at the ballpark. Now drop by our tasting room. Open Thursday through Sunday with events, music, and great food trucks. And this year we are honored to collaborate with Adam Jones and the Adam Jones Podcast with Simply AJ Ballpark IPA, available throughout the baseball season. It's going to be a great year, Baltimore. Visit us online at monumentcitybrewing.com or follow us on Instagram at Monument City Brewing. Listeners, tell your friends. The Baltimore Police Department is hiring the next generation of officers. Starting salary is over $61,000. Plus, you'll receive an additional $10,000 signing bonus upon swearing in. Apply today to start your career in public safety. This is a great opportunity to serve the city you love and start a career that makes a difference in your community. Apply now at bpdrecruit.org. It's the perfect time to check out a spacious and reliable new Toyota SUV, like a RAV4, with available all-wheel drive and plenty of cargo space. You'll go from errands to adventures in no time. Plus, available features like wireless charging will keep you connected. Or check out a Highlander with seating for up to 8. It's a hub for family adventure. Your Toyota dealer is getting new vehicles in stock regularly. So don't wait. Find deals on a RAV4 or Highlander at buyatoyota.com. Toyota, let's go places.
Much appreciation for senior executive producer Chip Franklin. You know, Chip wanted to dress up as the Nutty Professor for Halloween, and he did, and nobody blinked an eye. Go out and subscribe to the Baltimore Banner. We thank them for their support. Until next time, be real, be kind, and make sure to be back next week for another edition. It is the Adam Jones Podcast.